If you work for somebody, they have core values. And so the concept of that, we understand that. So why not apply that same thing to our families, right? And so
Yes.
just actually sitting down and saying, what do we believe? What is important to us? And what are some things that can make sure that we're staying on track for what we're called to do and who we're called to be. And so
You're a family man. Going from family to mission, like how do you work with people, or how do you help people figure out their family mission? Because that's a big thing, that we've done with our family is helped our boys kind of understand that. I know you just got back from really great trip in Uganda, I believe it was, doing some great work over there. We're wrapping up some stuff with our nonprofit here in Asheville due to Helene. It's a big thing. Walk us through, family and mission.
absolutely. It's interesting, as I studied this, just the last 6 months and dove in with him with Bill High and David
Yeah.
Green with Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
The first thing I think is just awareness, like having the awareness that
Awareness.
what we're doing is multi-generational, right? I
Yes.
think too
Yeah.
often American cultures, we think the next 5 years, 10 years or to retirement or just to our
Yeah.
kids. And it shrinks the vision down to a smaller box, right? But when you think
It does.
multi-generational, the multi-generational impact,
Yeah.
this awareness of that is really important to understand. Second, if you are a Christian, you read the Bible and you believe in the Bible
Absolutely.
actually says this, it's multi-generational, right? And so you actually start seeing that and understand that concept. The next
Yeah.
thing it has to do with, core values. Like we all have typically core values for our businesses or for
Yeah.
our real estate companies, or if you work for somebody, they have core values. And so
Yeah.
the concept of that, we understand that. So why not apply that same thing to our families, right? And so
Yes.
just actually sitting down and saying, what do we believe? What is important to us, and what are
Yeah.
some things that can make sure that we're staying on track for what we're called to do and who we're called to be. And so just having a few core values, set up, 4 or 5. And the next thing would having like a mission statement for your family and a
Yes.
vision statement for your family. These things
Yeah.
actually don't take too long to put into place. In
Yeah.
fact, I spent about a day and a half with my wife at a workshop with Bill High, working through the
Yeah.
material, thinking it through, praying about it. And then that simple framework there, then you take it and you start to actually teach the kids, right? And you
Yeah.
share it with each other. And again, it becomes like a compass to help you point you back into the right
Yeah.
direction. And you start talking about it. You start, rewarding and celebrating as your family's doing this. You have what's called a family board meeting, or just basically
Yeah.
a weekly
Yeah.
family meeting about these things. Like just actually common sense stuff, but it can just
Yeah.
pay huge dividends in a world that really time is short, right? It's collapsing on us with, especially with AI and technology and the speed of life, that we've got to
Yeah.
be ultra intentional about these things
Yeah.
before the kids are out of the house, especially if you have massive amount of
Yes.
wealth, because the stewardship here is really
Yeah.
on passing down the relational, the emotional, the financial intelligence, the spiritual legacy, right? The wealth part of it is important too. That's a part of it. The financial, wealth part of it, and building wealth,
Yeah.
entrepreneurial spirit. Those all encapsulate the wealth, right? Not
Yeah.
just taxes and cash
Yes.
flow and asset values, right?
Yeah.
That's just one piece of
Those are the
your
mechanics
pie.
of it. Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that. We've implemented our family board meeting. Our boys are 13 and 15. I only have two. Brett, remind me again, do you have 4 or 5 kids?
5.
Five. I was like, I love it. I love it. I feel like all my friends, I feel like I haven't met the buy-in yet with the kids. I was like, sweet, we gotta, up it a couple kids here and do this. But no, it's been a big thing for us, teaching our core family values and bringing back lessons as my boys are in school and things happen and you teach them life lessons. And then I bring it back and say, hey, remember when we talked about this? And if if you followed this, then this wouldn't happen. And this is how you act as a teammate, as a classmate, as a leader in your community at school and those sorts of things.